exactly as anticipated, and I told you watch for the rejection. We got the rejection, failed to get above that level, and now we're looking for one more sweep low from the top to the bottom of the next support on the stock markets, depending on whether you're looking at the S&P 500, Nasdaq, or the Dow Jones, is anywhere between about 5 and 7% downside before hitting that major support. So that's exactly what we're looking at. It is on its way there. Coinbase is now breaking out of what was previously its parallel channel. Now you need to do the same thing on Coinbase, is watch for when it comes down and pushes back up and rejects that level as resistance, and it's probably going to go for the full run all the way back down to about $138-140, which is going to be a buy the dip opportunity. Tesla, I also just put a Tesla chart on just out of interest to see what's going on over here. Tesla's been putting in low lows and lower highs. It is caught within a major range, and even though it had a big spike up recently, it is probably going to give up these gains and sweep back below 120. So if you're trading Tesla, pay attention to that over there. We have been taking short-term trades on things like Tesla in the Discord. We had a beautiful long off that little spike. So if you are interested in trading things other than crypto, stocks, forex, or commodities, we do that as well in the Whale Room Discord. The link is in the description below. Right, big moves up over here from the DXY. It's looking really powerful, really strong. Look at this bullish candle over here, which happened on the 8th of April. Since then, it's ultimately been consolidating and looking to mount its next move towards the upside, which we did say was going to add a lot of pressure to the risk on assets. So until such time as the DXY starts to turn back over, pull back slightly, it's going to struggle for Bitcoin to find a major bottom. Now, this was the significant and very, very important area of support, which was the prior week's low, previous month's low as well, and plus the simple range low level that we marked off just based on touch points within the previous candles. We've now officially not only lost that level, but we closed and opened a new candle underneath. So last candle closed on the daily yesterday below those range levels, and the new candle is open below those levels, which is showing you that there might not be much breathing room in the short term for bulls looking for bounces. There is a possibility that this does just roll all the way over, hitting the lower targets as low down as possibly $48,000. This is giving a much needed reset on the fear and greed over here. You can see that already hitting that 50 to 60 mark, coming from what was just a couple of days ago around the 80 to 90 mark, and even reaching as high up as the 90 to 100 percentile mark. We're really looking for at least a 40 to 50 reset. Throughout this bull run, you've seen that all the historical bottoms over here have printed the yellow dots, which is going to be the 40 to 50 marker at the bottoms. That's where the fear and greed got into the 40s to 50s for each major bottom. So lining that up with our price targets, you can see if you do start to see that fear and greed print a 40 to 50 over here, that could be an opportunity for the reset. And Bitcoin's approaching its trend line over here. We have our area of interest marked off for the fear and greed, which you can see all the previous bottoms, just giving you another visual perspective of how it's come down into those levels. Now, we spoke a lot about the Wyckoff distribution schematic 2 being in play, where previously we were hoping for schematic 1, where we were going to get an upthrust after distribution in phase C, and that was going to be the opportunity to take out a major head short opportunity. But instead, Bitcoin price followed schematic 2, which means that you showed weakness in phase C and already started to roll over. I did a show earlier this week talking about the transition from phase D into phase E, which would be where real fear would start to come back into the market, and the majority of participants begin to accept the fact that we are in distribution. Now remember, this is a low time frame distribution within a high time frame macro bull trend, so this presents an opportunity to buy the dip as price comes into these levels. So fast forwarding into phase D, let's see exactly what's going on over here. We spoke about the last gasp of demand. That's exactly what's taken place on the price chart. Price then travels to or through the trading range support. We've now seen that that's officially ticked off. And then we have multiple weak rallies within phase D. We've also seen that all the rallies failed at $67,000. And then we were hoping for maybe just one more spike up into 66,000, as in to test if there was going to be another rejection. There was not another rejection. It was that weak that went straight through that level. So what happens in phase E? This is the phase that we're in right now for this distribution. Phase E depicts the unfolding of the downtrend. I think it's pretty obvious right now. Lucky for the rest of you, we already spoke about this over a week ago. The stock or price chart then leaves the trading range and supply gets in control. supply is officially in control for Bitcoin, and the breakdown is often tested, the breakdown level. So we'll show you where the breakdown level is in just a moment, and that gets tested with a rally which fails at or near the support and represents a high probability opportunity to go short and short sell. Now, keep in mind your levels, right? Of course, this is where we saw that things were really going to be in trouble was within this zone over here. Let's just highlight it in yellow so it makes it a bit clearer for you. We said that as price bounced up into the mid-range and rejected from that 50-day moving average, that was an absolute screaming warning sign over here that there was the possibility that we were going to follow out this trajectory. And that is where I really started to preach the Wyckoff distribution schematic 2, which is now in play. Now, there's not really the time to panic now because what's done is done and we're already trending down. Now, your major support levels are going to be coming down into this low region around the $50,000 mark. You can see how it lines up with that 200 daily moving average, which is always very, very significant. And 9 times out of 10, price will bounce aggressively off of that level, especially when it hasn't tested it for a long period of time. So hopefully we see something like that, but expect that you are probably going to see lower prices. Here we have our other price chart that we're looking at as well, just gauging all the different pivot levels and EMAs with moving averages. You can see the 9 and the 18 exponential moving average crossed over. Thus we knew this was a strong sell signal over there. Price came down, broke through the trading range. We officially below the pivot level. The 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame as well as the 4 hour time frame, and more specifically as the posturing of those moving averages and exponential moving averages with the short below the medium, below the longer term moving averages. This shows you that supply is in control and you would have to look for lower prices. The RSI continues to downtrend. There was a little bit of a fake out scenario, if you draw it like that, where it looked like the RSI was starting to break out of the trend with the moving average following suit. But of course, we have to redraw with the lines of best fit, and that was obviously in hindsight a little bit of a fake out scenario where you can say, well, this is probably the line of best fit with the most touch points, meaning that RSI continues to trend towards the downside. This is the value of having the pivot level in place, which I update you on every single day. We know that we can use the pivot level as an indicator to understand when the RSI is selling the truth versus not. So if the RSI, if price were to reclaim above $62,000 for Bitcoin, that would turn the RSI back towards the upside. And every single day, this RSI level changes. So I will update you guys whenever that is relevant. Now, we can also have a look at Bitcoin's previous interactions with the 200-day moving average. If you look over here, with the 200-week moving average, So if you have a look over here at Bitcoin, this has been super, super significant. We can also zoom in and take a look at these levels, right? Let's actually switch it to a daily since it's more relevant for the short term. So look at the green moving average over there. If you're on a mobile device, you may need to switch to a PC or laptop or bigger screen to properly see this. Now, we can mark off all the different levels as well to see where does the 150-day moving average fit in? Well, that's currently trending up. What about the 100-day moving average? We've just tagged the 100-day moving average right now as a current D stats. So let's turn those off and have a look at the previous